Hey YouTube, so I'm going to be doing a full moon collective reading today. I'm going to be looking at the energies for this prospective full moon along with this Venus retrograde. I just woke up, so I just felt really called to kind of, I don't even want to say called. I feel like everyone uses that word nowadays and it just sounds so cliche. I just had an urge to do a reading, so I did it. So what I'm going to start off with is Oracle card. This is the Halloween deck. I'm not completely sure who it's by, but we will see. The control card is, and the unnecessary fear just came out. Yeah, so I think that a lot of what this full moon is going to bring us is this feeling of, I think it's just a lot of anxiety, a lot of paranoia in the sense that there's just this unnecessary fear about things coming to an end. And I think that because we're in this state of wanting to control ourselves, or really just wanting to maintain how we react, I don't think it's coming from a place of negativity. Really, I just think it's coming from a place of protection. And because of that, I think that what we've been able to do for ourselves has actually been bringing joy, being able to protect ourselves, because we know that people are some people like to take advantage of people, and whether it's done with malintent or not, there's just this sense that you're gonna have to have the strength really to kind of just set those boundaries. And because boundaries and control and having that unnecessary fear right now is causing that anxiety for us, because we're in a position of unknown, right? We don't really know where things are going right now. We don't really know where things are heading, but what we're being called to do for this full moon really is to just kind of see the light in the darkness right now. There's a lot of things we aren't supposed to see, and because of that, that mystery is really what's going to allow the celebration of a surprise. There's an element of surprise here, especially when it comes to emotional intelligence. Someone could be showing you their strength, or you could be demanding respect, or just having to kind of stand up for yourself. And I think that it's because you finally allowed yourself to accept that what you've gone through in life has had its purpose with your growth, and because of it, you're wearing your scars on your sleeve, and you're okay with the future, with what the future might hold, because you're not holding on to people who just don't serve you anymore. They're not your forever. They're not your once in a lifetime. And even if they were, girl, there's more. Boy, there's more. There's so much more where that came from, and I think you're starting to take the veil off and recognize that a lot of what is meant for you is already in destiny. So with that being said, there's so much being shown to you right now, especially with your purpose, or how things are going down, or how things are unfolding for you, really. And you're coming to a great place of acceptance, because this is going to transition you into something that is greater than who you are. And although the journey might not have looked very pretty, right, it might not have felt too great, but I think what the last straw was for you was really someone taking advantage of you, because they weren't being honest about how they felt, or they weren't being truthful, or there just wasn't enough to keep this going. And because of that, it's made you recognize how that you were taken advantage of, because someone wasn't being honest. They didn't care. They had selfish reasons, but they recognized that they didn't want to leave, but because of who you are, it's forced them to recognize their own demons. And with that being said, I don't think that they really looked at what they did as something bad, because it's always been a thing for them. They're really they're at a standstill right now, because they're in love with you, and they treated you poorly. They don't want you to leave, but they just don't think that you care right now. You don't really care much for them because of how they acted. Yeah, there's there's no movement. There's no movement with this, and it's because someone's controlled it to the point where they just don't have the courage to even offer you this justice. They're so stuck in their head about this justice that they want to give you that they can't find the words. They don't know how to even say, I took advantage of you. Someone could really want to come towards you later on in the future, but there's this sense of defeat and it's just really unfortunate. There's just no chance for rebuilding this. There's no opportunity here for rebuilding. This has to come to an end, because I think this is the final straw. I think this is where you recognize that, you know what, it's just time to get things going. And, you know, last month we did have that owl, wise action, and it's really just you coming to terms with the fact that this wasn't even meant for you to be long-term, I should say. It wasn't meant for you to have long-term, to experience long-term. I think what the effect of this will be long-term, but because of how you've grown out of this darkness, there's a new dawn, and there's this light that you're being protected by from this darkness, because it's time to leave. It's time to let that go. And because we're letting that go, we're putting things to an end with that graveyard, right? So with that graveyard especially, we are really ending things, because there's just no going back. There is no going back. There's this fear of actually being happy, because where you're going, there is true joy. But what you actually have to do right now is to enjoy where you are, because where you have been has been an experience in itself, and you really have to remember where you've come from, because a lot of people have been looking at you, and there's just this energy of envy or wanting to be you, or just wanting to look like you. People recognize how clear of a light you are, but they're foggy in their reflection. They're foggy in their reflection, and they don't really have the strength like you do. They don't have the strength like you do to really have this emotional intelligence. To say, you know what, I've done the best that I could, and although it's over, I'm going to accept that this is equal, this is fair, this is what's meant to happen. And because that you allowed that to happen, the future is revealed to you. It's time to take off that rose colored glasses, or that veil really is starting to show itself to you, and your ancestors have been. This is part of your lineage. This is part of something that no one could have told you was your purpose. This was something that you had to figure out for yourself. And with that being said, this could usher you into this movement of looking towards a new opportunity, right? So looking towards a new opportunity in the sense that it's time to move forward into finding this prosperity for ourselves, because what this season brings us is justice. This justice for really just coming to terms with the fact that this was meant to happen, and it was meant to show you that. Here, let me show you, especially with that crown. Look at that crown chakra with this illumination card. What might have looked like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just like, you might have been so stuck in your head you didn't know there was a way out, but because you were stuck in your head, the way out was shown for you. It was done for you. Somebody did it for you. You did exactly what you needed to do, and because of that, you're not starting over with this person or whoever it is that you're looking towards. And this could be just that new job, or old job. This could be you not looking back at whatever school you're going to, or whatever husband or wife that you're dealing with. It's over. You have to have I literally can't make this up. And I sound like one of those cliche readers now. But you have to have the strength to recognize that this is over. This is over. What I do want to actually clarify is this justice. I just made a mess out of my cards, but it's okay. What I do want to, I want to see what this is. Yeah, this love, although it can't come to fruition right now because there's work that needs to be done. Someone has it. This might not even manifest because of how someone treated you. There's work that needs to be done because of how someone reacted towards you. And because of that, that new beginning is blocked. And although there is so much love, there's no stability in this. And with that, there's a conversation that has to be held about the fact that this can't go any further. This can't go any further for the simple... You're not stuck in this position anymore, and you recognize that someone is a liar. They don't have enough to give you, and what their life is looking like right now is crumbling down because of this inability to move forward into this new beginning of abundance. They don't know how to accept what's good, really, for them. Or you, this could be you not knowing how to really accept or make a decision about something that's actually good for you. And because of that, you're not going to get what you want. You're going to get a new beginning. It's not going to look like what you want it to look like. But there is a lot of passion with what you're looking forward to. And we have the Emperor card. There's huge Aries energy out here. But especially, yeah, there's just no holding back now. The truth has to be said, and because of that, someone is definitely going to be left out. This full moon is going to be interesting. The people who deserve to be in your life will show their presence, and those who have neglected you or taken advantage of you, your presence will be shown to them, and it will also be taken away. That light, you serve as a great light for a lot of people, and a lot of people have they haven't taken it seriously. They've looked at you like you were something of a joke, and it just really, they're the jokes, because there's this energy of prosper. There's this energy of you being illuminated, you being in the light. There's this pedestal that's being placed on you because of how much you've gone through and what you've overcome. So with that being said, I'm going to leave this reading right here. This is the full moon collective reading. I think the full moon will be in Scorpio. I'm not sure if it's a Scorpio, Libra, full moon, sidereal. I'm not completely sure what astrology it is. I'm not an astrologer. But if you would like a personal reading, my name is Wahida Abdallah. My website is lolahoneyaroma.com. And I am taking personal readings today. I will also be uploading a monthly collective reading later on today, as well as the individual signs. So please stay tuned.